Stoby,
What is it?
I've called this episode, What Day Is It?
Go and do me a favour.
What's that?
Go and tell me what day it is first.
I think it's a Wednesday.
Wednesday. Is that between a Thursday and a Friday?
Absolutely. Episode 12. What day is it?
Hit it.
Soundtrack sounds like. It's been that long. It's only been like we've missed a week. Have we missed a week?
We're 2 days behind at the moment.
2 days behind? Why does it feel like we're like a fortnight behind? Why does it feel like it's August?
I wish it was August.
Oh God, I know. So, here we are. Lockdown.
Episode 12, the lockdown.
Lockdown. No, that doesn't.
That's quite dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what day is it's a bit more cheerful. We'll stick with that. But here we are. We are recording remotely, folks. Before anyone accuses us of being less than 2 meters apart from each other, we're more like 50 meters apart. No, it'll be more than that to your house, won't it? We live in the same village, so we're not that far apart.
Yeah, it's within half a mile.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, we're trying to record remotely here, so let's see how this goes. But we were having a quick discussion there about our experiences, of course, because this is very, very different way of living. This is a very new way for everyone.
Yep.
I'm quite lucky in as much as I can work from home. I'm self-employed. Most of the work I can do from home. But Stoby, you've been working from home as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've been really, really lucky, and I cannot complain. Like, in fact, all I can do is give praise to like who I'm working for Aviva, because they've allowed me to work from home, and also they're taking into account the fact that I need to look after my kids because my wife works in retail, so she's essential.
Right. So no day off for her then?
No. And so I've had to look after the kids during the day, and then when she gets home, sort of 2:00, I'll then go and start working.
Right.
And they've been brilliant, and you know they've said to me, don't stress yourself, don't exhaust yourself trying to hit your number of hours each week, just do what you can. And that was said to me at the outset, and that's taken so much stress off of this, because I know I'm not losing money, and I'm, you know, still able to contribute, and it's just been fantastic.
That sounds really good. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough time for everyone. So, you know, whether you're in employment, self-employed, laid off, everyone's struggling. I think with maybe not even in a monetary sense, but in a mental sense, where we have gone from being a very, very busy society to what's happening here. Why are we so quiet? And I know myself, it's taken me a long time to adjust to the fact that I'm not busting my hoop every single day to make ends meet. And actually it's taken me over a week to come to terms with that. And I had a couple of real low moments last week where I started to question the point of, well, you know, anything. And the other side of that, though, I'm starting to enjoy the slower pace of life. My days are not crawling along like they thought that they would. My kids are here, you know, we're helping them with their schoolwork, we're going out gardening. It's actually been very different and quite enjoyable to a degree. I just hope we can take a lesson from this when we come out the other side. I just hope we can learn from this and realise that life is not about breaking your backside to make money.
Yeah, and there's a lot of sort of comments and posts out there saying like this is a chance for us all to reset and kind of just look at what is actually important. Yeah, and it's really weird like how so much has just slowed down for this. You know, like 6 months ago, if you said we need to stop, you know, we need to ground all the planes, everyone would say that's impossible. You know, global warming isn't a thing or whatever. But now we've grounded all the planes. Yeah. You know, and okay, so with that comes the economic impact, the financial impacts on the companies, but it's not impossible. And it might give a lot of companies a chance to kind of look and say, well, how can we do things differently when we start up again?
And hopefully not just companies. I mean, actual everyday people. I mean, I think we're all under pressure, and we put ourselves under the pressure to work our butts off, and that's what life is. That if we're not seen to be working, we're lazy. If we're not, do you know what I mean? Like we're sitting here, and we're not allowed to take time off. We're not allowed to take a holiday, and we feel guilty for not working till 8 o'clock at night every night. It's not life, you only get one chance at this, in my opinion, obviously, but you only get one chance at living. And why are we doing this? And I think questions need to be asked at the other side of this. I mean, from the other side, I've seen people commenting isn't it funny how we don't have any money till this happens? Yeah, but let's get this into our heads. We are going to be plunged £330 billion more into debt than we already are, and we are hugely in debt. So to save the workforce, and obviously that's where the government get their money, is from VAT, from taxes, and from all that. We need to work to do that. That's why they're doing it. But out the other side of this, ouch. There's a massive impact.
It's the national equivalent of a person losing their job or unable to pay their bills and taking out a loan.
Yes, constantly.
You will have to pay that back.
Although I've never really figured out who to.
No, I have no idea. I just figure. You ever seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
The Iron Bank. I just imagine Stephen Moffat sitting there going, "Give me the money, come on, UK government."
But yeah, it's a really interesting time, and actually time for reflection and time to change. So I've been relatively lucky in as much as work I've currently got on, most of it has not gone away. I've lost some work, obviously. I've got some design work on, I've got some websites on. All my video work's disappeared, funnily enough. But this is all involving having to go to people and video them. Oh, well, that's a big no-no. So that's been postponed. It's not been cancelled. But from a self-employment point of view, the government are doing something. I mean, I've applied for the grant as a small business to try and tide me over these months. But there's also the self-employment payments that they're offering, and furlough as well. Have I said that right? Furlough. Yeah, to save people's jobs at the end of this, and 80% pay for not being at work is a very generous offer. To still keep a job at the end of all this. So there is things happening. But I think the most distressful thing is seeing how many people are flaunting the rules and not quite understanding how deadly serious this is. Yeah,
so I've heard quite a few times people talking about, like one of my mates, Wittick, was out for a run, and he was saying he couldn't believe the amount of groups of teenagers and young adults hanging about.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's just and it's not even. You want to just grab the parents and be like, why are you letting them out?
Yeah.
At the same time, though, the parents could be working, so they're in the house on their own and there's no one to actually stop them.
Yeah, there could be that. But I mean, I saw a post about the fact that you're killing your grandparents or even your parents with this. I mean, the bottom line is, and this is the harsh reality of this, is if there's an old person in the hospital that needs a respirator to live, and you come in as an under 40-year-old and you need the respirator but they've ran out, they will take it off the old person to give to you. Everything has repercussion. Everything. So if you're going out with your friends and hugging and all this sort of stuff and hanging about in groups thinking it's okay because you're young and fit, you actually could be signing someone's death warrant by doing that. And I know that sounds overly dramatic, but that's the truth of the matter. You could be killing an old person.
And that's what happened in Italy last week. There was a 72-year-old priest who was on a ventilator that his parishioners had bought for him.
Yes.
And then a young person came in who needed a ventilator and he gave his up.
Yeah, and consequently died.
Subsequently died from it. Yeah.
And that is the harsh reality of the situation. There is not a ventilator for everyone. And I think this goes back to how spoiled we probably are as a nation, thinking that the NHS will always be there for us, or we'll always have healthcare, we'll always have this, and we'll always have that. Well, the harsh reality is in situations like this is we don't. And we can't have 6 gazillion respirators just in case something like this goes down. It's just not possible to do that.
Yeah. And just what you're saying there about the NHS, I think we should probably take a moment just to give a massive, massive shout out to the NHS workers who are all, working, for lack of a better term, working their butts off.
And also risking everything.
For us at the moment.
Everything. They are, if you compare this to a war, they are the front line, jumping onto Normandy Beach, the first ones off the boat. and the pharmacy workers and even the retail workers, for Pete's sake, stacking these shelves so we can fight over toilet roll. And other ridiculous situations. Someone's going to write a book about this. They have to.
Well, it's crazy, actually, because this will be the first time that something like this has happened globally, that there will be multitudes of various media coming out on it. So there'll be podcasts,
obviously,
YouTube videos. There'll still be written diaries. So my eldest is keeping a written diary at the moment of everything that's going on. There'll be so much, and I think this is the first time, possibly in history, that we've been able to fight it on such a scale as well.
Oh, no doubt at all. I mean, you've had the Black Plague and all that sort of stuff. We've had pandemics before, just never to this degree and never this fast moving either. But of course, the world is a small place now. The world is tiny compared to what it was back in the Black Plague days. How did it move before? It moved bloody slowly. That's how it moved. Whereas now we can, be in Hong Kong in one day and then, the UK the next. That's how quickly you can move things around. And that's how it shifts.
And there was cases of, absolutely. And there was cases of, like, there was a businessman who went from, I can't even remember now, but he was like, he visited multiple locations in a week, and they traced him as the source of multiple outbreaks because he didn't even know he had it.
Now, we're not pointing fingers, but you.
And this is very, very, very early days.
Yeah.
So we weren't as aware, and we're still learning every day, like you say. We're learning each day what's going on with it.
Yeah, and how to fight it better. I don't know if you saw that open letter by a doctor, actually, who was talking about that every day we're learning more about it. Every day we are learning how to fight it better, and actually we can normally see symptoms now without even doing any tests. So they seem to be able to start judging the severity of your case, which brings me to a friend of mine who's just said she went up to the PRI tonight to the COVID centre at the back of the place, because she's got a very sore chest on top of all her other symptoms. They didn't test her. So you drive up, you're directed by a bunch of people in masks. They didn't test her. They took her temperature and all that sort of stuff, but they did not test her for COVID. So it's interesting that there's a COVID response centre, but they didn't think she was severe enough to worry.
So did they give reason for that?
Well, yeah, basically because either her temperature or whatever wasn't high enough. I think the bottom line is because she was still functioning. She was driving her car and she was still going about.
Right, okay, yeah.
But actually, the crutch of it is, if you're not on your deathbed, basically, if you don't feel like you're dying, then I think you're going to struggle to get, admitted or anything, or even tested at this stage, which is quite scary, isn't it? To think that you could be that ill and actually it doesn't matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not enough for you to go further through the process.
And that's where some of the stats are skewed. In the fact that we're not testing everybody. So at the moment it's showing like a 4 or 5% death rate in the UK. But the reality is that the number of cases is higher. That's just the number of confirmed cases that's been tested. So the death rate is, in good news, the death rate is lower. It has to be lower because that number can't be smaller. And they know who's died from it. So.
But we don't know how many people have it, and I think that's the scary bit. But actually, I think essentially we're all going to end up with it at some point. That's pretty much how it's going down. No one's immune to it.
Well, I was reading that they reckon a lot of people have actually had it and not shown symptoms.
Yes,
which is encouraging in a way that there is that glimmer of hope that actually some of us are already immune to it. And we just don't know, and we won't know until
Is it a one and done, though? Have they proved it's a one and done yet? Or we don't know. I think we won't know that yet. It's too early to know that.
See, the thing is, they're saying that there's a second strain, or, a second round hitting Wuhan at the moment, and people who have tested positive are now, who tested as recovered are now testing as positive again. But they're also casting doubt, saying that there's a chance that the negative test was wrong, and it actually had never left their system.
Yeah. Because even the testing side of it, it's not a sure thing, I believe, or at least not the home testing kits that they've started to order.
Yeah, and this is the thing. So it's not, we've known about this for 4 months? That's pretty new in comparison to like the age of the cold, the age of the flu, how long, they've been around.
Yeah.
We're still in infancy,
and we've not peaked yet either. This is a thing that the UK has not peaked yet.
No,
and that's a scary thought as well. But I mean, stay safe. That's what it comes down to. Don't be stupid. Stay safe. sanitize your hands.
Yeah, and drip feed the NHS with the cases. And that's what they're going for at the moment.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what they're going for.
It's about limiting the amount at one time. And, hopefully people are adhering now. And to be honest with you, the local shop in Luncardy, for example, has been absolutely fantastic. So 2 people at a time in the shop. You go in, and for the most part, the shelves are full, apart from toilet roll, which still seems to be a problem for some reason. But you go in and there's a choice of bread, there's a choice of things. And I think I've heard that from other people's local shops as well. It's not just ours. That a lot of the local shops are surviving and thriving to a degree in this.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's working. And if we all calm down a little bit and stop buying 3 million bog rolls, I don't know if did you see that American guy who did a calculation on how long it would take you to go through the toilet roll people were buying from Walmart, and he worked it out that you'd have to take 140 odd poo-poos a day in order to use a toilet roll.
Oh, wow. Okay. At that point, COVID-19 is the least of your problems.
Exactly. But yeah, anyway, that's that. I just realised how long we've been talking for, and this podcast isn't that long.
Yeah, that's true. I've just got images of like your backside looking like Freddy Krueger if you were doing 140 dumps a day.
Where did you see that picture of my backside? I told him to take that down.
Moving on. So what else have we got? Well, we've got... I spoke to Nicol Lumsden, who is the lead facilitator for Perth Andy's Man Club. And I just basically asked him to give us a quick update on what Andy's Man Club are doing in these times when they're not able to get together. So a couple of weeks ago, they had to postpone all their events, all their Monday night meetups, basically, which has risks in itself because you've got all these unsupported men who are then put into a lockdown situation and need all that extra help. So Nicol explained in great detail how Andy's Man Club are helping through the power of social media, through the internet. So here's the audio from Nicol on what Andy's Man Club are doing.
Hi, this is Nicol from Andy's Man Club in Perth. This is day 6 of the government lockdown. I'm currently scraping the walls. It's obviously a really tough situation for us all to find ourselves in at the moment, but I know people that are suffering from poor mental health are finding this isolation really, really difficult. Personally, as a volunteer Samaritan and running Andy's Man Club in Perth, you come across a lot of people in different situations who are struggling just to get their head around what's going on. With Andy's Man Club, obviously our groups have had to be cancelled on a Monday. That's UK-wide. The decision was made at the head office level to essentially stop meeting up, and that had a big impact on a lot of the guys, myself included. Mondays 7 till 9 are a massive part of my life now. They have been for over 2 years now. I've rarely missed any Andy's Man Club sessions, and it was really difficult to try and process what we were going to do as a result. Luckily, the guys at head office have come up with a solution for us, which has been to video chat through Google Meets. Perth were lucky enough to trial it last Monday. We had 25 guys attend the video chat. I ran it just as we'd done a normal Monday night, starting through questions 1 to 5, and the guys just unmuting themselves when they're ready to share. It was a really good session. There was a lot of laughter, a lot of powerful shares as well. Guys struggling as to be expected. We left the video chat though absolutely buzzing. So much so that we're going to go live with it next Monday. We are hoping to have as many other groups throughout the UK involved as well. We've got 28 groups throughout the UK, and I think we're hoping maybe 20 to 22 groups getting involved. I think it's brilliant that through adversity we've come up with a solution just to help people when they need it. We're not only just using it for Mondays. A lot of the guys in Andy's Man Club would meet up for a coffee. You might have seen them about. We meet in some of the local coffee shops, and they're all shut now as well, so that's been quite difficult. So on Friday evening, about 7 o'clock, a few of us got together on the video chat, coffees in hand, and just had a chat, how our week's been, what we've been up to, quite a couple of funny things, just really nice just to see the guys again. It just gives you that little bit of a boost for the weekend. And come tomorrow, we will be hopefully going live with possibly about 40 guys from the AMC Perth. At the moment, we're not taking new guys as we would normally do on a Monday. The reason being is it's a really daunting situation for anybody to be put into a video chat with up to 40 guys, and yeah, it's not the right setting at the moment. So head office are looking at a way that we can continue implementing the arrival of new guys into the group, whether that be having smaller groups on the video chat, or meeting beforehand, or chatting, not meeting physically, but sort of meeting up one-to-one on chat beforehand, messaging them through Facebook, something like that can just integrate the guys and make them feel more comfortable before Monday. And because as a lot of the guys in AMC know, it's one of the most difficult things is turning up for the first time, so we want to make that as easy as we can for a lot of our newer guys. What Andy's Man Club this year, we were planning a lot of amazing things to just spread the word that it is okay to talk. Due to what's going on with the current climate, it's put a lot of things on hold, which is it's quite sad, but you never know. Watch this space. We'll come into the end of summer, early autumn, we might get back out and do these things. A couple of things we had planned were a bus tour again, a bigger one this time, maybe 3 buses, visiting places we haven't been yet, but we're maybe planning to go to, spending longer in certain cities as well. This is hopefully still going to go ahead, but we obviously have to see what's going to happen. Other things we were looking at was a gumball rally, which would involve possibly 20 cars leaving Halifax and driving to each individual club throughout the UK, and then sort of first one back is the winner. A good way, again, to get out there, spread the message, maybe get some media coverage as well. Things like this podcasts are absolutely fantastic. They're pivotal to the stuff that we do. And we're always grateful when we get a sort of segment on these things. It is really good. So thank you for that. And I mean, we've just had our facilitator training down in Huddersfield. That was a weekend away, just meeting up with the other facilitators from across the UK, doing a bit of training and a bit of a Q&A session as well, just to see how things are going to go. These plans were all in place, ready to go, and then everything gets locked down. So I'm pretty confident that it'll all be picked up again. But again, we've had to adapt. It's what we do. It's what we do best. We adapt as and when we need to. And I'm really confident that this year's still going to be massive for Andy's Man Club. We absolutely smashed it last year. We're nearly seeing up to 900 men come through the doors on a week, which is absolutely massive. It's like when I first joined in Perth, we were having maybe 6 or 7 guys come through the door. Now we had 62 was our record. That just, the mind boggles when you see all these men just sitting in a room together talking about their darkest thoughts and their innermost sort of feelings. It's absolutely humbling, and it just shows the strength of it, and that given the right platform, guys can talk about how they're feeling, and they will realise that it is okay to talk, and we'll get over one pandemic, and hopefully we can smash another one, which is the rate of men taking their own lives. It's 12 a day at the moment, and that's too many. We will continue fighting this cause until something changes. Really, we need to get these numbers down. It's even one man or one person taking their life each day is one person too many. And there is obviously support out there, and Andy's Man Club will continue doing their part. We've got a part to play in it, I guess, and we'll continue to do what we do. Anyway, I think I've blabbed on for quite a while now. Again, amazing opportunity, and so thank you again to the Perth podcast, and we'll hopefully keep you posted about any sort of future updates with clubs reopening or whatever's going to happen in the future. But until then, guys, stay safe, and remember, it's okay to talk.
So that was Nicol from Andy's Man Club there. That's some fantastic update there. And they're still going. It just shows, in this adversity, they can still carry on doing what they're doing, albeit from afar.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's all we can do in a lot of cases now.
Yeah, nothing's impossible. We can get over this. We can get around this. We will survive and we will carry on.
I do miss socialising.
Yeah. I don't drink a lot. Do you know what? When people say you can't go out and do it, that's when you're like,
yep.
Oh, man.
That's exactly where I'm at.
I don't normally get drunk, but I could really do with it now. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Lethem for All, who we've mentioned before in the show. So Lethem for All is a project for the North Perth area, Lethem and all that sort of stuff, obviously. So they have just created this North Perth COVID-19 community support project. Now, basically, for people who are struggling to get out, and I don't mean because you're lazy or whatever, I'm talking about people who are genuinely struggling to get out of the house to go shopping. They have offered a support group for this. They have volunteers that will go out and get your shopping for you because you cannot. So we're talking about the most vulnerable members of society here. And I had a lovely story from Susie, who's one of the members there, about how it's already helped people. And I'm just going to find that while I spin this out a little bit. So here we are. So Susie messaged me to say, today we helped an 81-year-old man who's had his care workers removed. He is in a wheelchair, housebound and on oxygen 24/7. No neighbours, no family able to help. Lethem for All volunteers got him food for the next few days and has sorted a reassurance call. And that's just one person that they've helped already.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's quite incredible, I think, for that, for a quick reaction to this situation.
Yeah.
And you can find out more about this thing if you know someone who's vulnerable, or if you think you can volunteer to help. Lethemforall.org.uk. That's Lethem4all.org.uk. We'll put the link on in the description below.
And like you say, I mean, it's one of these things where people could easily be left behind, and sadly people will be left behind by this.
Oh, absolutely. And actually that neighbour that you might think is weird or whatever, you haven't seen them for a while, now's the time to maybe not knock on the door, throw a stone at the window, I don't know.
Prod it with a brush.
With them and just 2 brushes tied on end to end. But now is the time to make sure people are okay, and check in with folk that you know or haven't spoken to for a while, because I think we forget to do that in everyday life, never mind now.
Yeah, what you got to do is ring the doorbell, wipe it down with a wipe quickly, and then run away.
In a hazmat suit. So what else have you got?
So at the weekend, I was watching a video. It was a live concert that one of my friends was doing. So Kev works on a cruise ship, and he had just got back to Scotland. He's seen what was happening, and he knew he wasn't going to be able to go to the pub. So...
No!
Yeah, well, that was a problem for him, so... Well, I'll let him explain it. Here's some music from the Isolation Arms, followed by a little explanation about what they are.
the Isolation Arms up here in Tayside in Scotland. This is myself, Kev, my mate Gordon here. We set this thing up. I have been away working around the world, playing the guitar, doing a bit of singing, and I stay here with my good friend here, Gogs. And when we knew that I was actually able to come home with the current state of things, we decided to come back, and then we could see the way this was all going to play out. You know, like Italy was already shutting down, parts of Europe, Asia is shutting down. And so we decided, well, if we can't go to the pub, we'll bring the pub to us. So, we sat here. Gogs had a great idea. Well, why don't we build a bar? Now, we didn't quite think it would go this
2 days later.
far. Yeah, 2 days later, we have the wood, we have a skeleton, and then we plan it out, and it's now finished up, and we've called it the Isolation Arms. And what we're doing is we're both musicians, like I say, here in Tayside, and we are putting together little sessions. So we're going to go live on Saturday, the 28th. Will be our first wee gig, as we've called it online, and we're calling ourselves the Village Idiots, you know, because you've got to make fun of this situation, I suppose. Keep it light, and we're just, it helps us, you know. We're like everybody else. We're isolated, we're locked down, we're shut down, and we get our 1 ounce of exercise per day. We go out for a walk once a day, and we go out shopping as little as possible. I think we've made it once this week.
No, twice. We went in yesterday.
Twice this week. Twice now. But just to get what we need, and we cook up the rest, and then we have a couple of beers at night here in the pub. But given the state of things and the fact that we don't know how long this is going to go on for, we really do wish everybody well. We hope everybody's staying healthy and isolating themselves and keeping distance from other people. But this is just something we thought could bring a bit of joy for us. And a bit something to do for us, more importantly, but also just for anybody who wants to join in. We've got quite a few followers now, both stateside and here in the UK, and a couple in Europe as well. So there's going to be some different time zones jumping around. So we're going to aim for one big session at least on a Saturday evening, and then throughout the week we'll do little coffee sets, sitting here having an afternoon coffee and a natter. So. We're on Facebook. We are the Isolation Arms. If you want to come and check us out, we go live Saturday for what we're calling our first wee gig. We are the Village Idiots. And stay safe out there. Look after yourselves. And hopefully this message reaches you in high spirits, or at least plenty of spirits. We'll see you later. Cheers.
And just remember, you may not be able to go out the house, but you can still come to the pub.
Amen to that.
So there you have it. If you can't go to the pub, make your own in your house.
Absolutely. A friend of mine actually has a bar in his house. He's turned his spare room into that, and I'm a bit jealous right now. I'm not going to lie. The beer, the fridge is stocked just now, thankfully, but it's full of Corona. Would you believe? The irony is just amazing.
So as Kev said, they did have a gig on the 28th, which is obviously in the past now, but they're looking to do them every Saturday. So if you follow them on Facebook, you'll be able to keep up to date with their live gigs as they're doing them. And Kev and Gordon are two talented musicians. At the last gig, I mean, you heard them, playing guitar there, but at the gig there, like, Kev was playing guitar, singing, Gordon was playing bass guitar, trombone, acoustic guitar. You know, they're very versatile. And they'll take requests as well.
I hate them already.
Too talented.
Similarly, I was watching Dave Arcari, who currently lives in Glasgow, but has lived in Perth for a long time before that. He played a live gig on Monday night, and do you know what? It actually brought us together. A few of us were all on Facebook at the same time. We were typing messages, we were heckling a little bit, and he was asking for donations. And do you know what? Like, musical artists of all people have no income just now. That's it. It's gone. There's no way. There's no point in releasing new albums because they can't tour them to make the money. They need our support. But actually, what it did was cheer us up a little bit. And also, the wife and I watched a live comedy thing from Glasgow, the Stand Comedy Club in Glasgow, and we were sitting here laughing away, and they were talking. There was heckling coming through Facebook and on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. Do it, people. Just get involved in these live events. They're actually really quite cool.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I've watched a couple since then. Finn Anderson, whose music I love, he's doing them for free on Instagram as well, and it's just great.
Do you know, it's a bit of socialisation that I think we're missing out on at the moment. Whether you socialise or not, I think everyone needs a bit of that. Yeah. It's just fab. It was a good laugh there. But yeah, that's fab. What else do we have? Was there anything else? We're running out of time, I think. Actually.
Yeah, we are. I believe you had information about the Perth Business Forum.
Yeah, right. So Don, who runs the Precious Sparkle shop in Perth opposite the concert hall, has created this Perth... where is it? Perth. Oh, I've lost it. I've looked something else up. I'm fired.
Multiple tabs.
Perth Business Forum is what it's called. So if you own a business in Perth, this is set up to help you get information about the grants that the government have offered and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, Perth Business Forum, check it out. There's some really good advice on there, and it's just trying to keep everyone together in the know and to support each other through these hard times. Yeah. But I mean, I was in town earlier, naughty, but I had to get dog food. I was running out. So I went to Alan's Pet Shop, who was open. One person at a time in the shop, and people were adhering to that very well and standing back from the door to let people come in and out. Mm-hmm. So it was a really nice shopping experience. I washed myself down afterwards, anti-backed myself and all that sort of stuff. Had a nice conversation with him. He says he's doing really well. Obviously, it's not pleasant for these shopkeepers to be, in amongst all this, seeing everyone. But you know what? They're doing a grand and stellar job. They really are. I went to eComputers next door as well because I needed a Wi-Fi dongle for my computer, which I had to take from the office home, which is an absolute pain. But that's how it is. So, these guys are out there and they're putting themselves at risk for you. So don't give retail workers abuse. Shut up. They are doing a great job. They're doing what they can. Be nice. And if you can't be nice, shut the hell up.
Yeah. And that's it. And we did like a little post to say, is there anyone out there that you want to say thanks to for doing, a great job during these trying times? Megan, who was on episode 11, she says that her friend Kirsty Muri works for the council in sheltered housing, and it's just to give a shout out to people who aren't necessarily NHS and retail workers that you might not think of as doing a great job. But what she's saying is that the tenants are often vulnerable and obviously aren't allowed visitors at this time, so it's a tough time in the complexes. So thank God for people like her who are making sure our loved ones are safe and have everything they need. So that was a nice wee shout out there for
Brilliant.
Kirsty.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it is a good point.
Often overlooked.
Yes, exactly. It's a good point to remember there are areas that might be overlooked when everyone's praising the retail workers, and that's not to take anything away from them at all. Like, I know a lot of them are scared.
No.
There's so much uncertainty.
God, of course they are.
And yet they still go out and they do it.
It's scary. It's for both parties as well, because the folk that they're helping might not even understand really what's going on and how they can help themselves. And I've got a friend who works in care as well, and it's tough times. It really is, and there's not a lot to protect them, unfortunately.
No.
So no, good on you. Keep on trooping, guys. It's we'll get there. We'll all get there together. It's fine. As I say, be nice. That's what it comes down to. Be nice. We're all in this boat together. Let's get through this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that's about it. That's quite a nice happy note to get to leave on, isn't it, really?
Actually, yeah.
But yeah, it's been nice to even chat to you because I've not seen you, obviously, since the lockdown. So it's just good, and I think we should definitely keep this going. And folks, if you want to shout out for someone, if you even want to get on the show, send us some audio recording if you can about your experience. If you've got a story to tell, let us know. If there's something you've done, if there's someone that has done something really quite cool that will help, and you want to give them a shout out and give them praise for what they've done, let us know. And we'll try and get a hook up with you. We'll try and get a recording going, or just read it out on this podcast for you. Subscribe to us. Check us out on social media, The Perth Podcast, pretty much everywhere, isn't it? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. But do give us a shout. If you're a business that's still open, and I tell you the one thing we didn't cover, Stobie, was takeaways. We want to have a look at the takeaways that have all sprung up as a result of this, because restaurants can't open, so they're counterbalancing that by doing takeaways. So next episode, that's what we're going to do. Let's cover the takeaways in the next episode.
Yeah. That sounds like a good plan.
Cool. Beyond that, I think that's us. We're done.
Cool. Catch us on fcpod.net/The Perth Podcast as well.
And Booyaka! Music, mate. Hit it.
Done.